Yeah, everyone. Just going to do a bit of running around this morning. Got to go to the. Got my folks coming around for dinner on over the weekend. Going to make a nice seafood risotto. So go to the fish place and grab some prawns and some mussels. What we got here? It's not too bad today. It's already at 20. Then I'm going to go and check up on that. Hobbs Displays, it's called, in Malaga, about my bench. It's meant to be here on Wednesday, so it should be. Well, they were meant to get the container on Wednesday. It's another one of these, exactly like that, to go over there. So yeah, that should be in. So I'll go and get that, and then I've got to come back home, drop the seafood off, and then go up to Joondalup and get some beer because I'm out of beer because my old man's coming over on the weekend for dinner. So need something to drink. So go and fill up 2 kegs. I've got 3 in that fridge. Go and have a look. I'll go later after I get them. Got 3. 2 are empty. One's got ginger beer in it, and about half a keg of ginger beer. So I'll just get the 2 filled up with beer. Hopefully he's got some nice ones there. You can ring up and order, and then like go 2 weeks later and go and pick them up because he makes them. But I just lucky dip it and rock up and see what he's got. So yeah, a bit cloudy today. Probably not going to go for a ride because they're saying it's going to rain. Yeah, a bit darker over there. So yeah, we'll see how we go. I'm charging up the battery anyway, so if I want to go, I can go. Where else do we have to go? That's it. Yeah, just there, and that's it. So yeah, see how we go. I've just dropped my kegs off at the beer shop, so I'm going to head back down there now and go and muck around and go and pick them up. What else is there? I've been to the seafood shop because we've got a seafood risotto this weekend coming when my folks come round. And I rang up that place for my bench, and they were telling me that the boat was rocking up. They would get the container on Wednesday, so by Friday should be able to come and pick it up, and not the case. It's I just rang them up to make sure it's there to go and pick it up, and zero, not ready, haven't even got the container. Apparently it's coming in today to Fremantle. They'll get it by Monday and then they'll unpack it, so by Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, frustrating. It's not a necessity, it's just a bench for the shed, but it's just frustrating. So I said I'd call her again on Wednesday and we'll go from there. But anyway, let's head back to the beer shop. It's probably been half an hour. I'll give them about half an hour to fill them up. It's just 2 kegs. I've got a third one, but still got half full of ginger beer. So I'm just getting a draft and a blonde beer. I've had the draft almost every time. It's really nice, but the blonde I've never had before, so I'm just giving it a shot. He only had 1 keg of blonde left, and he wasn't sure if he even had that. So I said, he's got another one called a Mexi, which is pretty much a Corona. So yeah, we'll go and give that a shot. Alright, just live in the homebrew place. Got the kegs all strapped in for the journey home. Ended up with the draft and he calls it a pretty blonde. He changes the names. Instead of a pure blonde, he calls it a pretty blonde. And the draft he does is a Joondalup draft. It's his own recipe that he does. That's not a copy of any beer, but it's just a nice draft beer. It tastes like it's come from a pub. He's a nice dude, actually. That's his shop there. He's got like an entry around the front, but I always go in through the back here because he just fills the kegs up there. But yeah, he was just saying a few people have left negative reviews about his beer being too gassy. But I mean, 90% of the time that's a fault in your own system. I don't know why you'd leave a bad review. But anyway, yeah, he's a nice fella. It's a shame I only come here. I don't come very often. I had the dates written down on these kegs, and it was March of this year. And it's now September, so they last a while. And I think in March I got 3 kegs, and I'm only bringing 2 back now. I've still got probably half a keg of ginger beer at home. So yeah, so it's pretty economical. That was $170 for 2 kegs, $88 I think it was for the 2 kegs, and that'll last me a good 6 months, easy. And that's people coming around with having drinks and. I'll have to show you the setup I got. Probably do that today, that way it'll make this video a bit about beer, I suppose. But I've got a I won't waste time explaining it, because then I'm gonna have to do it again. We'll just head home now. That's all the running around done, I think. Yeah, we'll just head home, and I'll show you the setup I got for when I need to take beer to around the countryside. I'll see you in a bit. Right, so the setup for the beer. So we can't tell we like our drinks because we've set up a whole room for it, I suppose. I used to have a pool table in here. It's a games room, meant to be a games room. But yeah, I used to have a pool table in here, just a little one. It was I think it was like a 6x2 or something, just the smallest one you can get. And you still hit the walls, and we just never used it because you couldn't play properly. But I just always wanted a pool table. So got rid of that. Stayed empty for a while, turned into a bit of a junk room. We couldn't really figure out. Got these cool posters for the dogs made up. Yeah, so we couldn't figure out what to do with it. And then the missus came up with a good idea about turning it into a bit of a bar. And we've probably used it more in, it's been like this for probably 6 months. Probably used it more in 6 months than we've ever used it in the 10 years that we've been here. So it was an empty room. So yeah, we just had it painted. We had the whole house painted at the start of the year. And then we got this built-in, the cupboards, the top, they left hot. We already had the fridges, so we bought the fridges for this room. And when the lady came and measured up, we opened the fridges up. She measured them, so that way the fridges all fit in nice. I was gonna get, and she did the above cabinets as well. This is just through Bunnings. It's like a you can kind of do it yourself. They got like an online thing, but otherwise, if you get someone to come and measure up for you, they got a different program, and I mean, if you know what you're doing, you could do it. It's called Caboodle Kitchens, and it just rocks up to your house on a pellet flat pack, and then you can you can put it together yourself if you want, but otherwise for like $1,000 you get a carpenter to come in, and they do it all properly. So that's what we did. We just got someone to come and do it. I was gonna get this extended, this top, right over, and then have that embedded in. But she measured it, and because they come in standard sizes, so it's not totally custom. I got a carpenter to come and make this from custom and include that in it, and with same, not even a stone bench top. That's not stone. That's just wood. And he's talking like $13,000, and we're like, no, not going to happen. Hey Google, turn on the bar lights. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so the Caboodle lady come over to measure. They're from Bunnings, and so yeah, she came over to measure, and I said, what's the go? She goes, look, we can do it, but it costs more if you got to go into custom sizes, whereas if you just pick their standard size, it's a lot cheaper. I mean, that was still, over $5,000, and then $1,000 for the backsplash. So yeah, we just left it out. That way, if one day we don't want that or whatever, we get a different one. It's because they would have had to cut a hole in the top, like the top was going to go over, then they cut a hole for this to come through, and the carpenter had done a few of them, and he said it looks really nice, but he said they overheat, the fridges overheat, and so it's better to leave them open. And then that's why we've got these fridges sticking out a fair bit, is because we put them in, and my mates were around we're having a few drinks in here, and I pulled some beers out of the fridge, and they were warm, and I was like, what's going on? And the fridge was on, and we're like, oh, what's going on? It's got a thermometer there, so it's at 3 degrees. So anyway, when they left, I didn't muck around with it too much. When they left, I pulled the fridge out, and the tiles on the bottom you could cook an egg on, and this thing was just working its bum off trying to cool down, because there was nowhere for that. Like, see, it's pretty tight. And then I was reading the instructions, and we should have had like a 30mm at least gap. Like, I can't even get my fingers in there, and she's tight as around the sides. It doesn't need anything on the sides, it's mainly the top, just so because it sucks air in from down there. And these fridges, they're made to be outside, so they can operate in hot temperatures, but obviously they need to expel the hot air that they're using. So what we ended up doing, see if you can see, I got a, it's from a home theatre shop, very quiet fans, and so that, I think it sucks out. Hang on, let me put my hand there. You can change them, yeah. So it's blowing air out, so it's sucking air, cool air from the bottom, doing what it needs to do, and then hot air rises and then sucks it out. And then I got it on this fridge as well. So I probably could put them back a bit. You probably can't see in there, but there's a little vent there. Really quiet fans. They just run on USB, and I just leave that open, just cracked open. Just, and, if you got people over, you can close it, but otherwise that cupboard gets hot. But yeah, they're working sweet now. So God knows how long they were running inefficient for. We didn't really notice our power bill go up, but it was at night time when I pulled the fridge forward, and then the next morning I came out and the tiles were still hot. So like warm, they weren't as hot as where they were, but they were still, you could feel them, they were just retaining the heat. So that was lucky we saved that, because I reckon those fridges would have bummed out. So, but they're cool. This is like a dual zone. So you got your cooler wines up the top and your reds down the bottom. Cold air sinks, so I don't know why they didn't put the white ones down the bottom and the red ones up the top. I'm not sure there, but anyway, it's not for me to know. And then this is the kegerator, so it's pretty much just a big fridge, but it's not just a fridge. It is made to be, so this can go into negatives, and it can also go up to like 20, 25 degrees as well. But anyway, that's the inside. So that's your gas, just to provide the pressure to pressurise these to pour them, and that's it. And then you got, see that white, big thick white one up the back there. That goes, so it's all nicely condensated. That goes in there and gives that way your beer all the way down. I actually made one of these out of an old fridge, but every time, and it was outside as well, so every time you pour a beer you'd have to like discard half a glass at least, because the beer was hot from when it exited the fridge and went up to your tap and then out. This bit was hot, and it'd be sitting there for a week, and then you pour yourself a beer on the weekend or whatever, and it smelt, and it wasn't probably the best thing to do. So at least this way the beer is kept cold right up until the tap, so much better that way. So that's the only thing about making one and buying one, is doing that kind of. You can do that mod, I suppose, to any fridge, but yeah. So that's really cool. So you can get 4 kegs in there, but I've got 3. So you buy them as a kit. You can either get, it'll fit a 50 litre keg. They're only 19 litre kegs, so you can fit one 50 litre. But then the CO2 bottle's got to go on the outside somewhere. So I'd rather just have the 3 and the CO2 in the fridge, nice and clean looking. And what are these boys doing? Yeah, so heaps better like that. So it is really good. Like I just went and filled them up today, and they had the date on them, and that was from March. So they last months, and you get about 3 cartons of beer into a keg, because a carton of beer is just under 7 litres or something. So at $50 to $80 a carton, it's not too bad. I'm only paying $88 for a keg, which has the equivalent of about 3 cartons of beer, so pretty good. So it's Friday afternoon, so we're definitely going to give this room a work over when the missus gets back. Definitely try the beers. I've had the draft before, so tap 1, you can see there. So tap 1, tap 2, tap 3, left to right. Tap 3 is not 150 lashes. That's it's called a pretty blonde, he calls it. So it's like a blonde, low carby kind of thing beer, so I'll give that a shot. What's the time? Oh yeah, it's a bit early. I'll be pissed by the time the missus gets home otherwise. And another thing we've been making is with the Soda Stream. So you gotta, geez, that's really dark, isn't it? I'm gonna turn the light on. It's pretty dark today because of the clouds. Yeah, so you get your Soda Stream. I've got the Soda Stream bottles, so you fill them up as normal to your water line, and then I've been using, we've got 2 different ones, so either Summer Lemon or, I can't remember. I think we've only been using that lemon. I don't know about that one.
Yeah, you probably could use it. That's not even open, I don't think. No, it's not open. Okay, so I've only been using this one. So summer lemon. So obviously you got your water line, fill it up there to summer lemon, and then fill it up to about there with vodka. And geez, you get a really, really nice, refreshing drink. It's going to be really nice in summer. So, but it's good in winter as well. And yeah, it's been really good. We found some drinks at the drink shop up the road. Can't remember what they're called, like 1947, and it was just a vodka lemon mix, and they wanted $140 for a carton, and they're only little cans or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was big bucks. And then we bought we didn't buy a carton, I think we just bought a 6-pack or something, and even that was like $40 something for a 6-pack. And I liked them, and the missus liked them, so I thought, oh, we'll give it a shot on the SodaStream, and came up really nice. You can actually, tone the lemon down or bring it up if you want, or put more vodka in or less vodka. If that amount of vodka is about 3 shots, and that's about a litre it makes, so it's not too bad. You get a shot and a half in half a litre of lemon. Yeah, I mean, you feel it, but it's not too strong. But if you wanted to, make it stronger. What else has been happening here? Bugger all. Oh, I made my Coke and I forgot all about it. That's about it. Had that big ride yesterday out at Swan Valley. Might do another one tomorrow. See how we go. Yeah. Nothing else I can say. Yeah, no. I think that's it. Bikes are going well. Gravel bikes. Haven't used it since I've had my e-bike, but it might get a run this weekend or something like that. So yeah, that might get a shot. I'm definitely going to take the e-bike out. I was meant to go with some mates tomorrow, but one mate can't make it, so I think we're going to can it and go Sunday. So that should be nice, like a Sunday morning ride. I don't know where we're going or how far we're going, but I wouldn't mind going to the city, but if I go with my mates I probably won't film it. But yeah, maybe next week I might go on my own. Should only take an hour to get there, hour to get back. It's actually no, maybe a bit more. It's actually a bigger ride than the last one at Swan Valley. That was 48 k's, and I think this works out to about 54 k's round trip from mine to the city. And that's if you don't go anywhere in the city. You literally just go straight to Elizabeth Quay and then back again. So yeah, not sure what we're going to do, but definitely I'll have enough battery for it. But whether or not I'll do it after work one day or wait till next weekend or something. But yeah, that'll be a nice ride. That. Anyway, I'll sign off here. That's the. Oh, I was going to show you that beer thing as well. So I used to make homebrew, but just with the extract, not with grain and all that. So it was all right, but this stuff I buy is heaps better. You can see that thing up the back there behind the washing machine, the grey one with the tap on it. It's like an esky, and it's got a little, I think it's about a 9 litre keg in it, and so you can take that 9 litre keg, give it a wash. I always wash everything before you use it because that just sits for a while. I don't use it all the time. So give it a wash out and then take it inside or whatever and transfer some beer out of one of those kegs. I've got in here, I've got a I think that's it there, that hose. It's got the connection either side, so you can pressurise. So what you do is you let all the pressure, well there's no pressure in that keg, and you just keep expelling the pressure out of it, and then you keep your other keg that has the beer in it pressurised, and it'll transfer the beer from one keg to the other. And that way, because you don't want to open it and pour it and you'll spill it, and it's no good to let the beer expose to oxygen. So yeah, that works really good. And then yeah, you chuck it in there. You got 9 litres of beer. You chuck ice. There's enough room to put ice around it. And I've got a little 400 gram. That's the base of it, just there. CO2 bottle, which fits in there as well. So you literally rock up to someone's house with that thing with 9 litres of beer on you, and off you go. It's really good. The only bit of advice is I've done it just before leaving. I think it was Australia Day at my folks' place, and because it stirs up a bit, you get a lot of foam, and I think I only ended up bringing like half because it started coming out, but it was all foam, so it only lasted like 2 hours. It didn't last very long. So probably the best thing to do is like do it the day before, and over maybe 5 or 6 hours, do a little bit, let it, it'll start spitting out the top when it thinks it's full. Then just cap it, leave it with gas in it, and then let it calm down, and then top it up again. Do it 3 or 4 times, and at least then you'll have a full keg. Yeah, that's the only thing about that. So, but anyway, that's all I was going to show you about the beer. I used to make it, don't do it anymore. It's not. It's just much easier to go to this guy, because if I made it, you'd spend a week. Well, not a week, but you'd spend a day. Not a day, sorry. Like an hour or two making it. Then it'd have to sit for a week and ferment, and then you've got to transfer it from your big fermenter into the kegs, muck around with it a bit more, and then you still can't drink it. So I'd have to buy more kegs. I'd have to buy probably another 3 kegs, because then I don't know how you do it actually, because you make 23 litres or 21 litres, I think it's 23 litres at a time, and your keg's only 19 litres, so then you'd fill one keg and not the other keg. I don't know, I've never done it, so with kegs it's a bit different. I used to use bottles, but so that's a little bit different. So I don't know what you do there. You'd have to probably have 2 or 3 fermenters to equal the amount of beer that you need for 3 kegs, and then they'd have to sit in the keg pressurised for at least 4 weeks before you can drink it, because you can't drink it. It's flat when you put it in there. So you need to you can force carbonate, but it's with that homebrew it's not as good. You need to let it sit for a good 4, 5, 6 weeks. The longer, even if you let it 6 months, it's even good. Doesn't have to be in the fridge. It can be out of the fridge. This homebrew doesn't have any preservatives in it, so it's got to be in the fridge all the time. Can't let it go hot. But I just prefer the taste of the stuff I get from this guy in Joondalup. It actually tastes like a pub beer, and he uses a grain, Alfie, no licking mate. He uses a grain in it. He was telling me today. That's why, because I said, yours is much different. It's not just you can taste it. He goes, yeah, we use extract, but we also put a bit of grain in it as well to give it that nice pub beer taste. It's really nice. So yeah, definitely, it doesn't taste like a homebrew. So people I've given it to here, I've not told them what it was, and they've had it, and they went, oh yeah, what beer is that? That's nice. And I said, it's from a guy that makes it up the road. And they're like, it doesn't taste like a homebrew. So yeah, they love it. So and it's economical, and you don't have glasses hanging around. And the best bit is if you do start drinking before the missus gets home, she can't count how many stubbies you've had, because you just keep using the same glass, and there's no empty stubbies on the kitchen counter. So that's a bonus as well. So you can always, your last one's always your first one, kind of thing. So it works out well. So yeah. But anyway, I'm gonna probably go and edit this video up. It's obviously longer than what it had to be, just because of my rambling. But anyway, hope you enjoy it. I'll probably take some bits in and out. But yeah, not much on this weekend apart from hopefully a ride. It's pretty quiet actually, so it should be nice. Couple of beers. Got a nice dinner with the folks coming up on Sunday, and that'll be it. Back to work Monday. Anyways, have a good weekend, and I'll catch you guys later.